Good afternoon. Today we are adding rational numbers. Our focus question, how is adding rational numbers different than adding whole numbers? Well, let's get right into it. From yesterday's class, you have this graphic. When we're adding integers and they have the same sign, we add the two numbers and keep the sign. So really we're adding the absolute values of the numbers and then we're keeping the sign. So a positive number plus a positive number is another positive number. So positive 4 plus positive 5, I add 4 and 5 and I get 9 and it's a positive 9. When I have two negative numbers, I add the 4 and 5 and get 9, and then because they were both negative, my answer is negative 9. If you want to think about it on your number line, remember negatives determine our direction. If we have different signs, we subtract the two numbers and keep the sign of the bigger number. So we subtract the absolute value of the numbers and keep the sign. So for the first one, negative 4 plus 5, think about them on a number line. They're in opposite spots, going in opposite directions. So when I'm at negative 4, I start at 0, I go to negative 4, and then if I add 5, where does that take me? It takes me to positive 1. So 5 minus 4 is 1, and the bigger number, and I'm using bigger with air quotes, the bigger number is a positive. Okay, so it's positive 1. For positive 4 plus negative 5, the same thing. I will do 5 minus 4 is 1, but because the 5 is bigger and it's negative, I have more negative, I'm going to be at negative 1. So now we're going to combine things we learned in previous years with adding fractions and decimals. Same thing, but remember these are both rational numbers. So for the first one, negative 3/4 plus negative 9/4. When I'm adding rationals or fractions, I have to have a common denominator. These both have a common denominator of 4, so I'm all set. Now, because the signs are both negative, I'm going to add the two numbers. 3 and 9 is 12. I keep my denominator, and because I'm adding them and they're both negative, it remains negative. Negative 12/4 we know can simplify to negative 3. For 5.1 plus negative 8.3, the signs are different, so I'm going to subtract the numbers. So my bigger number is going to go on top. My smaller number on the bottom. Signs are different, so I'm subtracting. So 3 minus 1 is 2. I put my decimal in. 8 minus 5 is 3. Because I have more negatives, my answer is negative 3.2. So try the negative 2.7 plus 3.2. While you're doing that, I'm going to add one more example. So for the example you were just working on, the signs are different, so I'm going to be subtracting my numbers. And when I subtract, if you remember, I might have to borrow from here. 12 minus 7 is a 5. 2 minus 2 is 0. I have more positive, or my bigger number is positive, so this is a positive 0.5. For this next example, I added a negative 7/8 plus 2/3. I need to get common denominators. The common denominator here is going to be 24, so I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3 for the first one, and the numerator and the denominator are going to be multiplied by 8 for the second one. So I have negative 21 over 24 plus 16 over 24. So I have my common denominators, which is going to stay 24. And now I'm doing negative 21 plus 16. The signs are opposite, so I'm going to subtract and get 5. And the 21 is bigger, more negative, so I have negative 5/24. You plant a seed 3.5 inches below the ground. Find the sum of negative 3.5 inches and positive 15 3/4 inches. And tell me what the sum represents. I'll let you work on that, and we'll come back. So I want to combine these two rational numbers. Actually, they're mixed numbers. Because I noticed right away that the denominators were 4 and 2 of the fractions, I knew I could get common denominators. And so I wrote them vertically, and I did 15 3/4 minus 3.5. I found my common denominators. I multiplied the numerator and denominator here by 2. And then I subtracted. 3 minus 2 gave me 1, and 15 minus 3 gave me 12. So my answer was 12 1/4 inches. And what does this represent? It represents the height above the ground that the flower grew. So let's look at the next example. The diagram shows the changes in water level after the 6:49 a.m. high tide. Which expression represents the water level in feet at the 7:15 p.m. high tide? So, at high tide, at 6:49 a.m., from then until 12:47 p.m. when it was low tide, the height dropped 2.5 feet. So we have a negative 2.2 feet. Remember, negative tells me direction. Then we increased from low tide to high tide. We increased 1.8 feet. So if I'm combining them, it's negative 2.2 plus 1.8. Choice C. Now, here's what I want you to do on this. I want you to practice these problems and have them ready for class tomorrow. Of course, you may not use a calculator. And you're going to have to do the work underneath or on the back of the page. Okay, don't try and cram them all in close together. All right, you have a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.